Welcome to Sex Ed with Coach Catasha. I am whooped. I'm whooped. Okay, man, it's late. I'm tired. But we are here to talk about sex and sexuality and stuffs. I also did not look for sex question. I don't know if anybody, okay, let's just go look now, okay? Because I have not, I didn't. I don't have nothing to say. I don't, you got me. You got me. Okay, let's see if we have any questions. Who is this? Okay. Okay, we'll answer that one. Okay. Y'all, okay. Let's see, what other questions do we have? Let's see who else asked some questions. Oh, I need to put some on my lips. I don't think I have nothing over here, though. I've been over here eating oranges and stuff. Whew. It was my homecoming week. That's probably why I don't have no energy. I don't know who. Listen. I used to have it, man. I don't know where it went, but it's gone. It's gone. I feel like I need a Powerade. I need Ensure. I ain't even do that much. Like I ain't even get down through there like you can get down through there for homecoming. But golly, whooped my tail. I don't even know what to say. I'm talking about whooped up on me, okay? But hey, I had a good time. I did. I didn't do too much, but I did a little bit. And you know what? I don't even, no. I was being grown. Ridiculous. Until next year. I'm going to hang on to the being grown until next year. Okay. So this is Wednesday. Wednesdays Ask Coach Catasha. This is the time for you to ask a certified sexuality professional about any sexual health questions that you have. I am a certified sexuality educator. I have been teaching sex ed for the last 11 years. Specifically to adults. And my practice is about creating a safe space for adults to talk about sex, to have conversations about sex education, and to be able to get honest answers that are not, riddled with shame and all the other stuff that comes along with what happens when you talk about sex. Okay, so I am not here to judge you. That is not my business. I am here to be a resource to you, and that is it, okay? Whatever kind of question you have, I am here to answer it. I am here to give you a holistic answer to that question. And hold on, my back is itching, and I'm an old lady. I gotta get it, okay? And I'm here to help you to navigate whatever kind of issues that you may be having. If you're having sexuality issues, if you're having issues with your body, if you're experiencing erectile dysfunction, vaginal dryness, low libido, if you're having relationship issues where you're not able to, experience intimacy, maybe having issues connecting with other people, struggling with figuring out what your sexual identity is, all of those types of things, that is what I'm here for. That's what I'm here to help with. So it's also, as a note, my channel, it should be should be blocked to any children, so it should only be adults in here. But there's not usually a lot going on, so it gives you more space to be able to ask the questions that you have, without, people being all in your business like that. But if people are going to be in your business and, that's not something that you want to have to deal with, I completely understand that. If you are shy, and don't want your questions attached to your username, you can send those questions to me. Hey, Jamie. You can send the questions to my inbox at expressionofrepression@gmail.com, and I will be happy to bring those back to the chat for you and answer your questions as is. Like, answer your questions, any questions that you may have. Okay. So let's talk about how to do this, because, wherever right now we are currently live on Facebook, Twitch, YouTube, TikTok. That might be it. Facebook, TikTok, Twitch, and YouTube. Thank you, girl. I tell you, I just washed my face for the first time before I had to come in here. That's the I just got dressed. Like, I'm probably still musty under this thing. I'm talking about I've been ripping and running. Yesterday I spent the whole day sleeping. Me and my husband got up early and went fishing, and I was just doing all this running around. So that might be it, is that I was sitting out in the sun, because we didn't catch not an fish, but I was out there reading and soaking up the sun. So that's probably where it came from. Thank you, girl. So I'm probably sitting on the yard, walking around the yard this weekend. But yeah. Okay, so if you do have your sexual health questions, you can ask those questions. But whatever questions that you have, whatever you're watching this on might have, I'm sure it has some kind of moderation feature in it. And so there are some words that you won't be able to type, okay, or that you won't be able to say. But I still want to answer your question. So if you have a question, for example, say you want to learn about cleaning yourself for backdoor activities, okay? If you say it in that way, I will be able to see that question and I will be able to answer it. Hey, friend! I will be able to see that question and I'll be able to answer it for you. But if you use words that are going to stop the system from letting your question be shown, then I won't see it. They said that it's supposed to go into an inbox, but I have not found nothing in that inbox. So, and people said they ask me questions and sometimes they don't see them. So I don't know. If you don't see me answering your question, I'm not ignoring you. That's never it. But I may just not see it. So ask the question again and try to omit any words that they may decide don't belong. So just do the best you can in asking your question and I will answer it. I'm really good with my context clues. So if you just leave out the word that might be spicy or whatever, I should still be able to get what you're talking about and answer your question. Now, with that being said, I want you to ask whatever questions you have, whatever sexual health questions you have, whatever they are, I want you to be able to ask them. There are not a lot of places that you're going to have the resource to talk to someone who specializes in sex education. Okay. We're talking about a field that has very few people in it and definitely not as many people who have been doing it for as long as I have. Okay, so I charge people to do this, and I do this on a grand scale, but quietly, right? Because I want you to have your privacy, but I also want to make this available so that everyone will have an option to have access to a sexual health resource. Everyone deserves sex education. All people, all bodies, everybody. And that has not been the case going forward. And I thought that we were getting to a place where it was going to be more access to sex education. but it doesn't look like that's what we're going towards. So I'm sorry. It's not nothing I can do about it. I mean, maybe in the future I can help you, but right now all I can do is just talk to you on this private level about how to be better at sex and how to be um, completely and wholly yourself and to be a productive sexual being, right? You are seeing a lot of what we see in the news and stuff that's going on. Like, it's been a lot of growing mischief and all kinds of things going on with um the way that people are living through their sexual identity. If you have not been keeping up with the news, there are every day I'm reading a story about some judge or some Republican or somebody somewhere that is, being busted for CSAM or is being abusive or holding somebody hostage somewhere or all kinds of stuff. And so those are direct results of a lack of sex education with the shame that's associated with sex education. It makes people go underground and it also just makes them dangerous. If you cannot live and be who you are in a full sexual capacity, you can become dangerous. If you are not who you are, regardless of what that looks like, you can still be dangerous even if you weren't talking about a sexual capacity. If you were just rageful inside of your body and you have not learned how to address that, or you are suppressing that, it'll eat away at you and you'll snap. Like, that's just the way that it is. And so sexual repression definitely has its own set of consequences. I would like to get on the other side of that before you know something large happens, or before you get into some shit that you ain't supposed to be into, and also to help with a lot of the trauma that comes along with learning about sex. Many of the things that we know that each individual knows about sex had to come at a cost, right? You had to give your body to someone. That person may or may not have been good to you. They may not have known who you were or cared about your safety or had any type of intimate connection with you. And it could be dangerous to continue that cycle as a sexual being of throwing your pleasure into the lap of someone who probably doesn't care about you, right? And also just highlighting how important pleasure is to sex education, because that's never in the conversation. People are not focusing on pleasure when they're talking about sex. When I wrote my book, I was looking for a map of sexuality that was pleasure based when you were talking about the body, right? So everybody knows what a penis looks like. Everybody has an idea of what a vagina looks like or what a vulva looks like. But what do all of those pieces mean? What do you do with them? How do you create pleasure with this sack of meat in front of you? Like, how do you do that? And when I was looking for those maps on, okay, this is what this is what that is, it wasn't there. It wasn't there in a pleasure sense. It was there in a medical sense. So if you have never had a Bartholin cyst, you probably don't know what a Bartholin's gland is. And so there were no maps of pleasure when it came to your private parts. It was only if something was wrong, if you pulled a muscle, if you are experiencing pain, if you are missing this, if you get this cut off, if this doesn't work, and all those types of things. But it wasn't anything that says if you want to please someone, or if you want to know what your body is and how it works in the sense of pleasure, this is what you do. It didn't exist. It wasn't there. And so I literally had to learn how to draw. I had to learn how to draw to be able to draw a pleasure map of the body that told you what these parts were in relation to your sexual health, right? And so again, with a Bartholin cyst, you may reach down there, you might feel a bump and think that you have some type of sexually transmitted disease, when that may not be the case at all. You may have a clogged duct, but you don't even know that duct exists because no one talks about these places in the body when it comes to pleasure. And so That's what I want to do. That's my goal, is to show you and to bring to you what pleasure can look like if you want to, I don't want to get us blocked. If you want to learn yourself and your partners, and you should want to be better at sex, you should want to learn about sex, you should want to learn about sexuality. The more that you learn, the more you learn about yourself. Because there's so many things that you don't even know have a name. There's so many different types of sexuality, which that's one of the questions that I just pulled out of here. We'll get to that in a second. But there's so much to sexuality that people have no idea of, because you don't know these things have a name. You don't know that, these different types of lifestyles and the different types of attractions and all these things have a name. And not only do they have a name, they have a community. There's a community of people, no matter what you like, no matter what you're into, no matter what the thing is, there is someone else in that community. But because we don't talk about sex and we don't talk about sexuality, we're not having those conversations. You're not finding each other. And that's going to make it more difficult for you to live out loud if the people who need to live with you, don't know that you exist. So your sexuality is such a big part of who you are. Please don't ignore it. Please don't push it down or suppress it. As long as what you're doing is legal. Now, if you're doing the illegal shit, you better suppress it until you get in therapy, okay? My 2 rules. These are the 2 rules that you will always hear me talking about. Is 1, my job as a sex educator is to make sure that 1, everybody is of age, okay? Everybody is an adult in these conversations. And that 2, a consenting adult, okay? That everybody is a consenting adult and that everybody is having fun, okay? That's the only 2 requirements that I have to teach you, is that everybody's a consenting adult and that everybody's having fun. That's my job. And so whatever else it is that you're doing, I don't care how many consenting adults it is. I don't care nothing about that. The more the merrier. Hey, okay? I don't care. My job is to make sure that everybody's adults and that everybody's having fun. And so that's what we're here for. That's the reason that I am available to you. That's the reason that I am on this stream, which I'm likely going to be blocked come next week, but we'll deal with that when we have to deal with it. Okay? All right. So if you have questions, please feel free to leave your questions in the chat. I will be happy to answer them for you. Here, let me put this so I can user question. Okay, let's get to our first question. Okay, so first question of the day says that you said we have more than one sexuality. I don't. I'm just straight. So, okay. So let's talk about that. We have been taught, or you have been taught, not me, but we have been taught that sexuality is very linear, okay? You're either straight or you're gay. In actuality, nothing is ever that linear. Nothing is, right? And so you have to think of sexuality more on a spectrum, okay? And even that spectrum, you can run back and forth on that spectrum. And you as an individual, even if you believe that you are just straight, that does not mean that that is the only sexuality that you possess. There are plenty of different ways for your sexuality to manifest itself, and it's not just a gay or straight thing, right? And so let me pull up, let me see, we'll go here. I'm gonna hide you because I don't need that right now. I don't want to hide you, so let's unhide that. And then what's this? And then we'll hide that. And then I will go to, let's see. Here. Okay, so let's go here, and then I'm gonna share my screen. Okay. So let's talk about sexual identities and the identities that you may possess that you don't know. So this is from rainbowandco.uk. And this is a list of get out of my way. Okay. Sexualities and their definitions. Okay. So no matter where you are on the spectrum, you're likely more than one type of sexual. Okay. And so I'm going to try to keep this. I don't think this is going to get us in trouble, but you know, hey, whatever we got to do for you to learn, that's what we're doing. So if I get in trouble, whoop-de-doo. Okay. Whoop-de-doo. Okay. So let's talk about sexualities and their definitions. And I'm going to give you, not only do they have communities, they also have flags and representation and all other types of things. So you're not just moving into a space where, let me make me a little bit smaller so I'm not taking up some of the text. Okay, so starting off strong, an abrosexual. An abrosexual describes someone whose sexuality is fluid or changeable. For example, one day they may identify as asexual, the next day they may identify as lesbian, and the next is pansexual. Abrosexual people can fluctuate between all sexualities or just a few. The timing between fluctuations can vary. So what does that mean? You also will move through different types of sexuality as you go through life. And I'll give you an example. When you first get out of high school, you go into college. When you go into college, you become hypersexual, right? You are here for sexual connections and not for romantic connections, okay? You just here to hang out, have sex, and move on, all right? Then you meet somebody, you get your heart broke, and you know, now you like, hey, I need to abstain for a little bit. I do not desire to be with anyone. I do not want to continue a relationship or moving like this. And so you abstain for a while. You become abstinent. That is a shift in your sexuality that you're having when you go from being a sexual being, or however you like to make your attractions, into someone who can be considered asexual. You are not building the desire for sexual connection. And then you decide, okay, well, I only want to be in a sexual relationship with someone that I have a physical connection with. Okay, someone who or someone who I have a connection with, someone who I know, who I've got to know, who I've made, you know, a bond with. Then you move into a demisexual. So you are likely, even in this moment, you are likely have more than one type of sexuality. And so let's go over some of the more common ones that you may not understand, but that you probably are, even as a straight person, okay? So an androphilic or an androsexual. An androsexual is someone who is primarily attracted to masculinity. So this, for example, both heterosexual women and homosexual men can be referred to as androsexuals, because if you are straight, you are attracted to the masculinity of a man, okay? So, or just attracted to masculinity. With that, you are heterosexual, but you are also androsexual. So, even in you just being a straight, and I don't know if you're a man or a woman, I don't like to make those assumptions, but even if you're just the straightest straight, you're still likely moving through more than one type of sexuality. Let's see. Okay, aromantic. Aromantic refers to someone who does not experience romantic attraction. They may experience sexual and or aesthetic attraction, but not romantic attraction. So that means if you've ever had a period in your life where you did not want to be in a romantic relationship, you were purely here to satisfy your sexual needs, at that time in your life, you were aromantic. And you could be aromantic right now. So that's just another type of sexuality. Asexual, most people know about asexuality. Bisexuality, demisexual, refers to someone who only experiences sexual attraction to someone once they have created a romantic or platonic relationship with them. So if you are not interested in any type of sexual attraction until you know that that person is sane, until you know that they are not crazy and that you've been able to spend time with them, they have piqued your interest in your brain, then you can develop a sexual attraction to them. And many people live under this demisexual umbrella. Even if you're straight, you can still be demisexual. Demi-romantic is similar. It refers to someone who does not experience romantic attraction until they have formed a strong connection with a partner. So unless I am interested in you, I don't even want to be in a relationship with you. I'm not interested in pursuing anything further until I know that we have a strong connection. Finsexual is the opposite of androsexual, someone who is attracted to women or feminine. And so if you are a straight, you could also be a finsexual. A gray sexual refers to people who experience limited sexual attraction. They experience sexual attraction very rarely or with very low intensity, also known as a gray ace. So sometimes people are not always thinking about sex in the same way that others are. They do not have that spontaneous desire for sexual activity, but they do get it sometimes. Sometimes under certain circumstances, they do experience sexual attraction. So those would be a gray sexual. We know about lesbians. A lithosexual refers to a person who may experience sexual attraction but does not want it to be reciprocated. So I know at least a couple of people like that as well. Mensexual refers to the exclusive attraction to those who are masculine in nature. This can include men, masculine aligned, or masculine presenting non-binary people, and potentially masculine women. So even if you are gay or lesbian or bi, you can likely still fall into a lot of these other categories. And so I'm going to put this in the chat just in case you want to go and check it out later. Check the link out later, but you can just Google types of sexuality and you will be able to find the different forms of sexuality that you can fall under. And again, like, you don't know what exists if you don't research it, and that leaves you at a disadvantage in finding who you are and finding what your pleasure map looks like and being able to own your space and then find the people who also resonate with you, because a lot of the times the things that we feel, we don't know that those are common things and common feelings about like sexuality. And yeah, absolutely, hey girl, hey. But it is you likely fall in a lot of different categories, even if you're the straightest straight or the gayest gay, because it's not even just your sexual attraction. There's a whole other space for your romantic attraction. So you could be demisexual and be demi-romantic as well. And your romantic attraction does not necessarily align with your sexual attraction. In most cases, they do. The person that you are sexually attracted to is the person that you also are romantically attracted to, but that's not always the case. And if you date and live your life, you know exactly what I'm talking about. The person that you may have this strong bond with may be the most toxic person in your life. And you just cannot love them how you want to love them, even though the sex is hot and all these things, but you two cannot get on the same page romantically. That can absolutely be a thing. So your sexuality is a lot broader than just you being straight. Like, you being straight is it's just another name for the different types of sexualities that that you could actually be participating in that you don't know exist. So, and I'm not trying to tell you, I think a lot of times when we talk about sexuality, you think, oh, it's, if you not straight, you gay. No, that's not what it is. But there are just so many more ways for you to understand. Yes, Christina, there are layers. It's so many more things to understand, especially if you do have trouble connecting that sexual and that romantic line, because not all the time will the person that you're romantically attracted to will you be sexually attracted to, and the person that you're sexually attracted to is not someone that you will always be romantically attracted to. And there are people who are literally attracted to themselves. So even if you're not in any of those other categories, if you are attracted to yourself, you're autosexual. So you can have so many different ways that your sexuality shows up, and if you don't know, you could think something is wrong with you, or that something's wrong with your partners and all these other things. But there's layers to it that we're just not discussing because people shame sexual knowledge, which is terrible, because sex is the thing that everybody's supposed to be doing but nobody's supposed to be talking about. And how stressful is that when there's all these sexual expectations of you, but you're not allowed to learn or be curious about things or find out more information. And so it is important to your sexual health and to your mental health. That you understand who you are, that you understand the way that you love. And I'll give you another really good example. I remember watching a documentary about a cult, and the guy that was running the cult was short. He was pudgy. His hair was thinning. All these things, but all of those people, when they talked to them, were asking him, like, what drew you in? It was his intellectualism. He was hairy. He had a gut, all this stuff, but he was smart. And so the women were attracted to him because he was smart, and that was what grew their sexual attraction to them. And so there's so many different ways that you probably don't understand how your sexuality is working because you don't know that these things exist. Please do your research on it. There's nothing wrong with being straight, okay? There's nothing wrong with that. But you're rarely ever just straight, because even being straight is a made-up concept. It's just the word that they landed on to choose. But even being straight is it's a concept. And so when you think of sexuality on the spectrum, like when you think about neurodivergency on the spectrum, there are some high functioning neurodivergent people. There are some people who cannot survive. And so where you are on that spectrum is it's nothing wrong with where you are. It's just, but you have to know where you are to know how to get what you need to get. You have to know where you are, because if you don't know where you are, you could potentially punish people in your life for them not understanding your sexuality when you don't understand your sexuality. So if you can put a name to it, if you can put a community to it, you have a better chance of finding the people who understand you, finding the people who want to love you and can give you love in the way that you need it to be accepted, right? Because even if somebody's giving you love, if you are not accepting it, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how much someone loves you if you don't know how to accept that love. So, and that goes for romantic, that goes for sexual relationships, that goes for all of that. And it all has an effect on your mental health as well. Like, you're not escaping your mental health by ignoring your sexual health. I can guarantee you that. I'm not a doctor. I'm not here to diagnose you. But I do know that neglecting your sexual health will have an effect on your mental health. It will. And depending on the type of sexual health you're ignoring, it could probably have an effect on your physical health too. Because if you are experiencing erectile dysfunction and you are not putting it at the top of your list, like if the erectile dysfunction is bothering you on a consistent basis, that is literally a marker, a known marker for significant cardiovascular events. Cardiovascular events is at heart. So if you are experiencing erectile dysfunction and you are not getting that checked, you could poop out and die. Okay? So that's why Christina, thank you. Thanks for dropping knowledge on this. You're listen, I got you, girl. I got you. But if you are pretending as if these things don't exist, it is going to seep out. It's going to seep through your pores, okay? It's going to make you angry. It's going to make you irritable. It can cause depression. It can cause literal physical repercussions in your body. And most of the things that you would be coming up against is things that, like, your body, almost everything can be treated and or cured if caught early enough. Okay, almost everything, and I mean almost, like 90, I would say about 98% of things have a treatment and or a cure. Okay, but if you never talk to anyone about it, if you never go and get checked, if you never have the conversations about what's going on with you, you're gonna kick the bucket. Like, you're gonna kick the bucket. So, and that's gonna be such a crappy way to go with something that was completely treatable, preventable, all of those types of things. Like, we just have to start having the conversation. And I want you to have the conversation about your sexual health. I want you to be interested in what's going on with your coochie. I want you to be interested in what's going on with your weenie. It's important. It's important. And I want you to do that with the goal of pleasure in mind. Not just doing it because, it's going to, it's what you're supposed to do and, it's going to make you feel better. No, like, do it in a way that is going to set you up for pleasure. That's why when people start talking about, all these different groups and DDLG and bears and, furries and all this stuff, those people are living their best lives. They found their community. They're living their best lives. So I don't know what the expectation is. I don't know, what you expect to happen from you pushing it down and keeping it inside your body, but it's not helpful. It's not helpful for you. It's not going to help you find your community. It's not going to do any of those things. So, don't play yourself with that. It's not necessary to play yourself with that. One of the questions that I got was, how do you find these people? How do you find the community? This was a question that I actually got, someone was asking me personally. So I did answer that question, but I want to teach you how to, okay. So firstly, you're going to have to be honest about what it is that you like. Okay. You're going to have to be honest with the type of person, even if you just, are just curious, you're still going to have to put some honesty and some vulnerability behind that. And I know that that's scary. I know that it is. But it's also a radical act of self-care. It is. It is a radical act of self-care to allow yourself to be vulnerable, to open up that door, to find the people that are also opening that door to themselves. So it means you're going to have to take a chance. You're going to have to be vulnerable. You're going to have to take a chance and be like, I'm interested in some kinky shit, okay? If you like for somebody to, put icing and sprinkles on their ass cheeks and sit on top of your face, you gonna have to be honest about that. And even some of the other stuff, like if you are, I said DDLG earlier, that is daddy dom little girl, or it could be CLG, they do caregiver little girl, or however you want to do it. Even if you have to be in some of those other subgroups that people are going to look down on or whatever, you're just gonna have to take that chance. And I know that's scary, okay? I'm not telling you to do that with everybody that you run into, but it is gonna take you being honest about what it is that you're into and what it is that you like to find the other people that you are trying to find, okay? I know, and I know. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Because I also know that it's easy for those things to get weaponized against you, right? I wish that I could tell you there was a way to save yourself from that, but I can't. I don't have the answers for that. Only thing I can tell you is that if you do it and you find the people that you're looking for, you find the sexual niche of people that you are looking for, it will be worth it. It will be worth it. People are going to be dumb. People are going to be dumb about everything. You can't let that dictate how you show up in the world, okay? If that was the case, black people would be struggling to survive with everything that is put in place for us not to succeed, right? But you just got to step on next and keep on going. You and know that I support you, whatever it is, whatever shit that you into, as long as it is consenting adults and everybody's having fun, baby, you got coach on your side. I am on your side, and I will stand at the altar. I will stand in front of the judge. Dictate. I will do whatever it is to allow you to be your representative, if I have to be, about why you should be able to do whatever the hell you want to do, as long as everybody is of consenting adult age and everybody's having fun. Baby, it's up and it's stuck. Do the absolute most, okay? So once you do that, once you decide that, I'm going to be honest about what it is I like, I'm going to be honest about the type of shit that I'm into, where do you go find these people, okay? Almost every state has some kind of dungeon here. I don't know where I don't know the name of the dungeon here. I do know that it is over on 39th, but I don't know the name. Okay, don't hold me on that, because I think it's a predominantly environment. So I don't really, but most places has a dungeon. There are some places, some states where they have like websites and stuff. So you can just Google, hold on, baby cakes. Where my phone at? I was watering my garden. I need him to go turn the water off. I'll tell him. I gave my friend a mushroom cone. She having the trip of her life. I'm so excited. I don't know what this stuff means, but I'm so glad you're sending me stuff. I don't know what to do with it, but I got stuff. So getting presents. Okay. So yeah. Okay. So then what do? You need to. You can also go to. If you have. No, you will have it. Go to FetLife, FetLife.com. If you go to FetLife, there's usually a community. Like, you put in your area, you will have to set up an account. I'm also on FetLife. You can send me a friend request. I don't be on there doing nothing, but you can still send me a friend request. I just want to be everywhere y'all are, so you can find me if you need me. But you can go on there, and there's communities and events for all kinds of stuff. And like, they usually have meetups. They have rope meetups. They have dominant meetups. They have submissive meetups. They have pegging meetups. It's all kinds of things. And those are just different communities that you can get into, that you can find other people who are into the same shit that you are into, okay? They have Facebook groups, which, are, hey, a lot of people on Facebook, okay? A lot of people are there. But let me give you a trigger warning if you get on FetLife, because like, people do be in them pictures holding their butts open, and that's okay. If you don't want to hold your butt open in your profile picture, that's just fine. But there are people who will be holding their butt open on there, so just, if that's not where you that's not where you're at yet, that's absolutely fine. But don't knock nobody else If that's what they want to do, that's what they want to do. Okay, so we not judging for holding butts open. That's, hey, butts are meant to be held open. Okay, but if you were to go in there, there are, so I wonder if I can show you. I know that I can't. We'll probably get blocked if I show you, because it is gonna be people. They're gonna block me. I would love to show you, but I know I know that I can't. See, that's why I need my own platform where we can just walk through this stuff together. I haven't got my live on Patreon yet. I don't know what I gotta do, but I don't have it yet. To be able to Christina, you don't wanna hold your butt open. They will. It get wild. It get wild. But I love that. I love that, those people feel comfortable enough to do that. You have to have a level of vulnerability to do it. So you don't have to do that. My butt's not held open on mine. So, and I built mine probably when I first, how long has it been since, I'm gonna look on my phone and see when I did mine. Cause I set it up a long time ago. I think when I first started this, maybe. Let me see. I wonder if it tell me yeah. Listen, I love that for them. I want everybody to feel like that, and to be that comfortable. Oh, it doesn't tell me. Oh, yes, it do. May 2017. So, yep, May 2017 is when I opened my FetLife account. So, I've been there for a while. And again, it's just a great place to meet people, to see what kind of meetups they have. Let me see. Where's the little calendar at? FET. FET, like fetish, LIFE. Let me put it in the chat so you can have it. I'm not getting no money from these people, so this is not an advertisement. I do not have anything to give or that they're giving me. This is just purely for me to help you find community. And I'm sure there are other places too. I have not vetted any of those places, so I don't know. But you can go on there. You can look for me too, Coach Catasha. You'll find me. Send me a friend request, because if you start with me, then maybe people won't be in your business so much. I don't be on there enough to to do too much, because I don't know, even I think I got a Threads. I think I just remembered that the other day. I don't think I've done nothing but set it up. I've not done any of that other work to have that done. So, but yeah, you can go to FetLife. You can find plenty of people there. They will have events. They usually have a calendar that you can go on and you can see what people are doing, what people are meeting up, what kind of stuff they getting into, all that jazz. And, make friends. Make some friends, man. I definitely want, I want you to experience what's that like. I want you to know what to do, how to maneuver, and you're not always going to do it right either. Give yourself some grace as you're moving through those spaces, because you're not always going to say the right thing. You're not always going to, do whatever it is that it's never going to be perfect. Right. And it could change as well. When I first started doing this, so first of all, I used to make my money beating on people, but hey, that was I was a different person then. I was a different person then, okay? But when I realized I want to be able to show other people and to teach, and even from that, from where I started with teaching, I would just do classes. I would put classes together and teach, teaching classes about the body, teaching the classes about bondage and how to safely use rope, and how to safely, clean yourself out, and how to perform fellatio, how to perform cunnilingus, how to, practice your foreplay, how to build intimacy, all of those types of things. And then it kind of moved into more of I probably after my sister passed is when it shifted for me. And I started being more focused on like what are the medical correlations to what's happening with our bodies, right? What is the, oh, you're experiencing erectile dysfunction. What do you do about that? How do I address that? How do I talk about it? What are the treatment options for it? How do I address vaginal pain? What do I do if sex is not, if I'm not having fun? What happens if I've never had an orgasm? What is going on in my body that's causing that to happen? And so that's when I started going to the library and reading papers and, really just trying to dig into the technical side of sex education, because a lot of the stuff that's out there when it comes to sex is more stuff that's like just relax and ease your mind and just be free and all those types of things. But like that doesn't tell you, you know why am I not making enough lubrication? What do I do with my teeth? Should I be cupping the balls? What's all the stuff you should be doing? Like those conversations were not happening. And so where are people supposed to learn those things? Where do they go to figure out how to be good at sex? Because being good at sex is also it's a boost. It's a boost. Sorry, it is. It is. If you know your way around a body, nobody can tell you nothing. No, no one can tell you nothing. Okay. If you know your way around the body, you cannot be stopped. And it's just knowing that, like, that's a thing that you don't have to brag about. You don't have to try to put on the forefront. That's one of those things that you want people to find out once they get there. Like, people are never gonna know that you was like, oh, wait a minute, I didn't know you know how to do that. Like, I know you didn't, and I know you didn't, but I do. Christina said facts. I listen, baby. You couldn't tell me nothing. You still can't tell me nothing. I know my way around the body, baby. I know my way around the body, and I think that I'm better than you because I do. No, I'm just playing. I don't think I'm better than you, but I do really feel like that makes me a more confident person. It makes me more confident in my sexual abilities. It makes me more confident in my sexual knowledge because I can figure it out. I know how to figure it out. And so if that is the journey that you're working on, if you're trying to, exactly, Christina said, just like I know my way around the kitchen. If you know your way around the kitchen, baby, can't nobody talk to you. And so you can like, somebody like, you can't make no shatter fratter. Okay, let me show you. All right. And you're going to feel like that girl or that man when you're done. It's the same thing. Being able to figure out the recipe for someone's good sexual experience, you are talking about a confidence that cannot be matched. It cannot be. Just the same way if a man already got a big old thing, he ain't finna show you, ain't finna get no pictures, it ain't finna be nothing. He wants you to see it face to face. When you get there, he wanna be surprised. He wanna hear the gasp when it go in. Though you don't got it. I don't have to do all of that. I already know. I'm already confident in my abilities. So it gives you a boost, but I also understand why people don't have that, because people don't want to talk about sex. They don't have the conversations about sex, and because there's nowhere to learn about it, there's nowhere for you to talk to anybody about it. How can you learn? Everything that you learn comes with a cost. And so there can be trauma attached. There can be deep feelings. There could be all kinds of things. Many people's sexual history includes some type of trauma, right? It includes some type of, misfire somewhere. Imagine if you could enjoy it without having to experience that type of trauma of linking yourself. If the only way you know pleasure is because of what someone else has done to you, then you're cheating yourself, because that means the only way you'll know pleasure is by subjecting yourself to someone who may not care anything about you, or who could be attached to something that, say they do something that you really like, right? Say you get, blooped during sex, right? And you decide that you really like that. But that person also really does that to you in real life. Like when they're angry with you. And so you can have attachments to the thing that's happening to you and have a disgust for the person. Don't leave that up to other people. You should know all the things that you like, and they should surprise you with extra things. But if you leave your pleasure map to someone else, you run the risk of traumatizing yourself and traumatizing your sex life long term. I'm talking about long term. People have yet to get over they first and second or they baby mama and all kind of stuff. So like there really has to be a level of curiosity about your own sex, curiosity about your own sexuality that you're going to have to take up to ensure that you are on the path to pleasure and that you're not just existing. Oh, Christina, what part was that? What I do? What I say? What I say? But realistically, like many of the people who have sexual experiences have some type of trauma. Yeah. You see that? Okay. Yeah. So it can be really difficult to separate the pleasure from the experience of the person who harmed you. And so that's why you cannot leave that in the hands of other people. It needs to be your journey. You need to be curious about your sex. You need to be curious about your pleasure. You need to be curious about you. You specifically. You should know how to get yourself off. You should know everything that needs to be done. And again, that's all stuff that still has to be learned as well. You still have to go through the processes of, figuring that out. But it also takes a level of vulnerability and curiosity that you have to open up. So it's hard. It's hard, especially if you leave it to everyone else. Your pleasure is your responsibility, not anyone else's. It's not you can pick bad, right? You can take somebody home and they can be terrible, but you at least need to be able to say, okay, well, do this. Well, I like this, so do this. And they can be terrible at that, but if you don't know what to say to do either, then both of y'all terrible. Y'all terrible together. So it should be a community effort. And I talk about that a lot, especially because the bulk of the people that I teach are women. And, women really struggle with their sexuality. Men do too, but not in the same ways. But one of the things that is difficult for them to get past is initiation and advocating for their pleasure. And those things are huge. Those are huge parts of your sexuality. And so if you struggle with initiating sexual interactions, women will say, oh, I'm going to get in the bed and I'm going to toot it up and he better know how to read the signs. If you don't get your lazy ass out of my face, listen, you can't come to coach and tell me that, what somebody else need to be doing. Because I'm going to ask you, what is you doing? What part of this are you playing? Because if you can't roll over and get nothing cracking because you ready to get it cracking, then you deserve not to have. In the same way that you want to be desired, your partner wants to be desired as well. So you can't just toot it up and hope that somebody read your mind. We don't play like that. Okay, we grown-ups over here. We are adults and we do adult shit. And so if you trying to get it on, you can't just wait for nobody else or try to telepathically tell nobody else that you want to have sex and then go and be mad and call him gay and do all this other dumb shit because he couldn't read your mind. Please stop playing in my face. And that also, lowest of keys, that is also a part of rape culture. That also is a part of how that coercion and that intimidation can live on. We don't want that. We don't want it. And it's a part of it we got to take care of too. We can't keep that as the desired method of communication when we have our mouths. We have the way to advocate for ourselves. Now, if that's what you into, you and your partner can talk about that, and that can be fine. But you struggling with initiating sex, okay, well, we need to get past that. So, because again, the same way that you want to be sexually desired, your partner wants to be sexually desired as well. And they will go out and they'll find somebody who will. They will find somebody who will desire them sexually. And like, that's crazy when you could just do it at home. You know, they shouldn't have to go nowhere else to feel that desire. You should be providing it for them, but you just want to back it up and hope that they read your mind. No, we're not doing that over here. Okay, we're adults. You should be an adult if you're watching this, and you should be fine with initiating sexual activity, no matter what your gender or sexuality is. Okay, I can understand not wanting to do it all the time. I get that, but it should not be all on one person. Both of you should desire each other equally and should be initiating sex on an equal basis. Like, well, I wouldn't say equal, because, you know, people's sexual drive is not always equal. But it should not be an aversion to you to initiate sex. Okay? It should not be, especially if you're with your partner. Okay? And if you need to practice, baby, just say, what would coach do? That's where everybody, all of my clients be like, and then I said, what would Catasha do? And it goes, it's up. It's up. And I love that. Please use me. Please use me, baby, because I'm with all the shits all the time. All the shit all the time, honey. I am never too tired for an orgasm. I'm not backing up shit. I'm trying to give me what is mine. I want it now. So just use me, baby. Just pretend to be me and do what you would think I would do and get what you came there for. Okay? Listen, don't let them trick you. Because it's mine and I want it now. So, but also too, it's important that you are good at sex. And low key, I say this very often. I think a lot of what's going on with relationships in the dating pool right now is that people are not good at sex. And when I say people, I mean the boys. I know. And it's so hard to teach men because they think they already know everything. But God, they need to learn. Like, I'm trying to save you. Please, if you don't listen to anything else from me, please understand that you are a lot more tolerable if you got orgasms as one of your talents. Okay, please. I know you don't have to have a lot of that other stuff. Okay, and I know that everybody told you that you do. But if you go back, like I said, Shirley was not on Barbara's phone because that man was paying bills. Okay, she was on that man's phone because he was dropping off dick. Okay, and if you know how to do that well, they'll share you. They will share you. Okay, you heard SZA say, I'll take you on Tuesday through Thursday, and whatever she said. She said, I'll take my days. Okay. I know people who have been married who have been moved off of days. So please, if you don't take nothing else from me, being good at sex makes you a lot more tolerable in relationships. Okay? And I know, but I don't give a damn about that. I don't care nothing about it. Yeah, the weekend. You got Monday through Thursday. She said, I'll just take the weekend, baby. She wasn't saying that because that man was over there paying no bills. She didn't say nothing in that song about spending no money. He was in there cracking that back. And she said, let me just get my couple little days. Okay? You are a lot more tolerable as a human if you know your way around the body. I'm the expert here. I'm telling you what I know, okay? You are more easy to put up with if it's some good sex attached to your raggedy self. My mama said before she died, she was like, good dick is always on a bad man. It's always attached to a sorry man. I don't believe it. But men who don't have a lot are usually better at that because it's the thing they can control, okay? So I'm telling you that even if you have some of that other stuff and you know your way around the body, I'm just saying that those men are married. That's all I'm saying. Them men got wives and probably a girlfriend on the side and a boss that won't let them quit. No, okay, I'm being funny, but I'm being serious. You do not realize the importance of a sexual connection until you have that sexual connection with someone that that knows your body and is willing to learn your body and is committed to helping you get that orgasm, committed to helping you find your way around your pleasure. When you get that, it's hard to let that go. You know, you've seen them videos of people crying about their favorite eater. You done seen them. You done seen them crashing out behind their favorite eater, okay? It's a real thing. They are not playing. It is a real phenomenon. Being good at sex makes you more tolerable as a partner. I be seeing women talking about, oh, I'm too tired and blah, blah, blah. Baby, I am never too tired for an orgasm. He knows the ingredients. Look, I'm going to look the other way on those red flags. Baby, that's what I'm saying. Girl, I love flags. Flags, what flags? I got a couple of poles out there. We can put the flags all over the yard. We can set some up in the house. I'll put one on the car. What we need to do? Hey, flag schmag, okay? Flag schmag. Right, what we playing? Flag football? You want to bring my own too? I'll bring my flags. You bring your flags. We just have a patriotic party in this bitch. So that's all I'm saying is that if you know your way around the body, and it's the same for men, don't let them fool you and say that it ain't. If you listen, if she do that thing where she cup the balls, it's cold in the basement. You will get your shit together, even for a short period of time, if she know what she doing. So like, don't think that that's just a woman thing. It's a man thing too, baby. That body is a powerful, powerful thing. And the way that it makes connections is different than the way that your brain makes connections. That's why you could have some of the most amazing sex with the raggediest person you ever met in your damn life. Somebody who they take care of their kids. They be in jail all the time. All that stuff. But the sex can be fire. Okay? It can be fire. And they can be just as raggedy as all outdoors. Because your body speaks a different language than your brain. It speak a different language than your brain. And so, if you know your way around the orgasm, and I'm talking about specifically the orgasm, not just like pleasure, all that, kissing, all that's great. But if it's an orgasm at the end of that rainbow, baby, you her husband. You somebody's husband. Hey, don't shoot the messages. All I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, because they said them chemicals be releasing, and they do. So just do not let the importance of sexual knowledge and sex education slide. It has more of an effect on your body than you think. It has more of an effect on your mind than you think. It has more of an effect on the way that you make relationships, because you don't have to do any of that other stuff. Like, people who are good at sex don't have to be cheesy. They don't have to play the, oh, I'm a nice guy, nobody ever lets me. You don't have to do any of that stuff, right? You could just show up as yourself. If you can get to that part of it and you do that part, baby, and somebody can make a real decision about if this is what they want. Like, is this the life that I want for myself? Do I want to be joined with this person? Do I want to be in community with this person? Do I want to give my body to this person? People can make that decision and make a sound decision if you just be who you are and let the sex speak for itself. But I don't think that men are prioritizing sexual knowledge right now. I think that they're not realizing how important a sexual connection is, especially when you look at the amount of women that are actually experiencing orgasm. It's abysmal. Like, straight women are at the bottom of that list, and that's with gay, straight, lesbian, everybody. Straight women, heterosexual women are at the bottom of the orgasm list. So what is that saying? Is that straight men, they don't got it. Y'all don't have it. And you don't. And how is that going to look in the terms of your relationship if you're not able to deliver pleasure in the bedroom? What is the expectation? How are you supposed to get the oxytocin that is supposed to release, that's supposed to make your connection stronger? How are you supposed to get the other endorphins that sexual encounters bring? That's why when people say, oh, I'm too tired, I don't want to have sex, blah, blah, blah. That's crazy to me. I want to have sex all the time with my husband, all the time, every day. Because I know that there's an orgasm on the end of that. Like, I'm never too tired for an orgasm. Ever. I'm never, ever too tired for an orgasm. If your partner is too tired for an orgasm, that's probably because it's not an orgasm on the end of that. Just saying. So, work on learning the body. If you need help, I have created let me put it in the thing. You can get Headhunter's Guide. This one is for learning your way around a penis. And then I have another one, Headhunter's Guide for This is for learning your way around a vulva, okay? And even if you don't, if you get you can Google it too. But look up Headhunter's Guide. I have some other books out there too, but these two are specifically for the body. So you can learn about all the parts of the vulva, the inside and the outside. So you can find all the places where the nerves meet up. There's all of these different erogenous zones. I'm working on another one that talks about the internal erogenous zones of the vulva, because there's a lot of different places where the nerves meet in the body, right? There's a lot of different was there something on my face? Oh no. There's a lot of different places in the body where your nerves meet. And so you have a lot of erogenous zones all over your body, but you also have erogenous zones inside of your vagina. And so there are all kind of places. Same thing in the penis. There are, people know there's the head, there's the shaft. There's more than that. There's the frenulum, there's the corona. There's all these different places that are on a penis that you don't know, and know where the nerves are, what they're doing, how they get there, all these different things. And so if you can learn the body, you can learn what the outside of a penis is, what the inside of a penis is, what the outside of a vulva is, what the inside of a vagina is, you can figure out how to find the pleasure recipe for whatever type of person you want to sleep with. You can also find out things about yourself. So if you have a vulva and you don't know what your pleasure map looks like, you can get the book and you can follow the map in the book to see, what do I like? And you can have, if you have a partner, they can help you find it. They can, you can learn about yourself and learn about your body, as well as learning about the type of bodies that you sleep with. And so that's one for the penis. That's one for the vulva. And those are just guides that I put together that are to help you to create your own pleasure map on your body, so that you know how to tell a partner, hey, I like deep cervical pressure. I don't like pounding. I like just pressure, just pushing on it, because that's what the cervix likes. Um, and so if you can say, like, this is what I like, this is the type of touch that I like, this is how I like to be touched, this is where I like to be touched, this is how much pressure I like for that, then I might like a little teeth on my shaft. Okay, if I like that, I need to be able to say, hey, I like a little teeth, not a lot. You don't have to bite, but give me a scrape. I like a light scrape. If you can verbalize that and you can advocate for that type of pleasure, then you can help your partner to get you to where you're trying to go. Because it's also not just women who are unsatisfied during sex. Men can also be unsatisfied during sex for an array of reasons. Yes, they have a better opportunity of reaching orgasm than a vulva does, but a penis still needs certain types of stimulation. It can be overstimulated depending on where you're touching, what you're doing, how much pressure you're adding. And so it's not always pleasurable depending on, what you're doing. So it's best that you just know, right? And so I created those guides for you to be able to learn, for you to find out on your own, without having to subject yourself to whatever is out there. I heard there's pee in a dating pool. I don't know, but I heard that somebody been peeing in it. I don't know who been peeing in it, but I heard the people say it's got pee in it. Okay, so don't swallow if you go into the water, all right? But there is an opportunity while this is all going on, for you to learn more about sex and learn more about your body, learn more about the bodies of the partners that you're dealing with. And that's, again, if you are gay, if you are lesbian, still the same things. You can get that book to learn yourself, but to also learn the type of partners that you plan on engaging with, so you know the do's and don'ts of what to do, what not to do, so on and so forth. And again, I'm telling you this information as someone who wants you to succeed. There are not very many places that you can go and have conversations about adult sexual interactions and get answers from someone who's not trying to have sex with you. I am not in any way, shape, or form trying to have sex with any of you. Okay, I am only here to help you be better at sex with somebody else. Okay, so I don't gain anything but your happiness and your partner's happiness from you being better at sex. So, but I do want that for you. I want you to have the resources that you need to be able to be a whole sexual being. I want you to have the resources to have someone to ask if you don't know. And if you are more private, or you feel like you have a specific type of issue, let me put my link in the chat, and you can make an appointment and you can talk to me. You do have to pay me. This is free. But if you want to take up some of my time, absolutely. Here is my booking link. You can make an appointment and we can chat it out. We can figure it out. I'm here to help you to be better at sex. That's what I want to do. That's my goal. Ooh, look at all those likes. Y'all really love me, don't you? Okay, well, we've been here an hour and a half, and I've been talking an hour and a half straight. All right. Do y'all have any questions? Any last thing you want to add in the chat? Something you want me to explain more? I'll be happy to talk about, whatever questions you have. If you don't want your questions attached to the chat, attached to your username, you can send them to expressionoprepression@gmail.com, or you can find me on any of the social medias, search Coach Catasha. Find me on any of the social medias and put your question in the inbox, and I'll bring it back to the chat on Wednesdays. I'm here every Wednesday to teach you sex education. Oh, hold on, I got some, did somebody send me I don't know if that's any of y'all, but it says some people follow me. I want to say that's new. Okay. Okay. Yeah, you can send your questions to any of my inboxes, and I will be happy to bring them back to the chat for you. and I'll ask them on your behalf so people don't be in your business. Again, I know people are professionals and all that stuff. I get paid to talk about butts all day, but I know that that's not everybody else's life. So I already put that in there. My bad. But please use the resource. If nothing else, I'll be here for free every Wednesday that I'm not blocked. I'll probably be blocked next week, but we'll deal with that as it comes, right? Just hey, I'll be back, no matter what. I'll be back. This is a professional thing. I'm not here to sell you nothing. I'm not here with, in a swimsuit trying to convince you. None of that. I'm here in my alumni sweater, still a little bit hungover from, homecoming. Here to talk about your butt. That's what I want to do. I'm just here to have conversations about your penis and your vulva. That's what I want to do. So, if you don't have any questions, or if you do have questions, you think of something later, you can send them back to me. Send them to me, and I will. Hell yeah, Langston University, the real LU. But I love my HBCU forever and ever. It definitely prepared me to talk about butts. The paper definitely prepared me for this job, even though I'm sure that's not what they thought I was going to be doing with the paper. But here I am, 6 books later. Is it 6 books? How many books do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 6, and I got another one that I hope to have out. By the end of the year, but I want to have it out by December 1st. But I keep touching stuff and doing stuff, and just the perfectionist in me just want to keep adding stuff and doing other stuff. But I'm gonna get it together. I also got my Halloween party coming up. That's what I've been doing all day since I woke up this morning, putting up stuff. I got the pole up. We ready. I was expecting my package to come today because I ordered a new toy this year. I usually build something, but I didn't have it in me. I didn't have it in me this year, so I just bought something. So I bought a little punishment chair. I'm excited about that. But it didn't come today. So, yeah, I'm getting ready for Halloween, though. I still need to buy my costume, too, because I have not bought it yet. I might buy it tonight. I'm going to buy it tonight. Oh, yeah, I got you. So, yeah, just here is your friendly sex educator trying to make the world great, one packet of lube at a time. But I appreciate y'all for hanging out with me, for chatting it up, for sending me your questions. I appreciate you trusting me and being vulnerable with me and allowing me into your sex lives and allowing for that to be shared, your questions to be shared. I hope that it was helpful for you, and I hope to see you back here next Wednesday with more sex questions. That's what we're here for. I'll be here every Wednesday. You can search me on any of your platforms. Just search Coach Catasha. If you want to Google me to see I'm a real person, you can do that too. I definitely support, vet your sources, right? Vet your sources. If you Google me, that is actually all me, which is crazy. But yeah, you can. I am Googleable, as my niece say. You're Googleable. So you can look me up, if you have more questions, or, before you make an appointment or whatever you need to do. I absolutely support that. Do whatever you need to do, okay? Whatever you need to do to make you better and make you a whole sexual being, I support that. I do. I support it. So I am going to let y'all go. I will see you back here next Wednesday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time for another episode